I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
Hey, yo! Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? I said, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome on in, everybody. I hope everybody is having a phenomenal Friday. It's the freaking weekend, and I hope you guys are ready for it because, man, is it well deserved for everybody who had that long work week this week. Welcome on in. I am very excited for today's stream. I'm very excited for this podcast. I tried to have one earlier this month. It didn't work out, and that's 100% on me because I have been so ridiculously busy. But we're making some things happen. We made it happen today, and we have somebody here now, and I'm very excited to put this podcast on and be able to help newer creators in their streaming journey as we do on a day-to-day basis. And for those of you guys who are new here, I'm Percussive173. I'm a drummer, and that's pretty much where that came from. I'm a drummer that always likes to spread positivity in all walks of life. It's just who I am. It's what I do. And I just want to spread good vibes and have good times. And what better way to do that than to hang out with you guys and to talk and just kind of have a little podcast that's focused on a bunch of newer creators, which is a pretty heavy dose of my, content in my streaming stuff. It's really meant for you guys and to help you guys grow. And I'm just excited to be here. And I will probably stay excited about 97 different more times throughout the night. But hey, fuck it, am I right? You know what? So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna get the podcast started here. And welcome everybody on in. And let's have a little bit of fun here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the PSP podcast, featuring your friendly host, Percussive173. Let's freaking go! I downed him! Oh, I got it! 508 meters! pushing everything right now. He gets to Lockman. Dude, this Lockman is so good. Oh my God, I'm disgusting. So what do you think about that play, huh? What were your thoughts?
Not very smart, man. Not very smart, man.
It happens, man. Hey, well, come back. We'll try it again, okay?
Very smart, man.
It happens. Shit. I guess I'm just gonna shit on him. He's dead. Did I just ace? I just ace. Let's go.
Just take a funky jazz with him.
Easy triple. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to have you be a part of the PSP podcast. And I'm your friendly host, Percussive173, and let's have a freaking party. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in. My name is Percussive173, and welcome to the PSP podcast. The PSP stands for PERC Spreads Positivity, and it is all about sharing good vibes. It's all about spreading positivity, and it is all about helping newer creators on their journey as content creators within the industry. My goal is to bring in amazing creators who have been at it for a long time, who are very good at what they do, and who are empowering and people that they're creators that people look up to. And what better way to do that than to bring in my guest today. Tonight's podcast is going to be an LGBTQ Pride Month special. I know I keep saying that wrong, but it is a Pride Month special. And I'm very excited to bring on the creator that I have here. I meant to have a podcast earlier on in the month. It actually didn't work out, but I'm very excited here to welcome in Cheer Girl. Cheer, how we doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Nice. How did you have a good Friday, and how was your Pride Month?
I didn't even know it was Friday till you just said that.
Nice.
So yes, and my Pride Month has been busy. I am actually a cheerleader. I'm on a adult LGBTQIA plus cheer team, so I've been cheering at events every weekend, and I have like 4 more this week.
Awesome. So I assume that's probably where the Cheer Girl in your username came from.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, when I started streaming, I wasn't still cheering. It was like a year in that I made this team. It's my first ever AOL screen name back in like 2000 was XO Cheer Girl 91
AOL.
with the like capital letter, lowercase. And when I made my Call of Duty account on my PlayStation, I was like, I can't think of anything. I'll be funny and use my old like screen name. And now it's my brand. So joke's on me.
Funny enough, like when I first started and I first made my first stream name, it actually was Rat Sushi, because I was obsessed with sushi and I had an affinity for rats when I was like 8 years old. I don't know why it was, but then I started drumming and I became a drummer, and eventually it changed into percussive because what was it? I think it was Black Ops 2 came out and they forced everybody to redo their usernames. That was what I couldn't do Rat Sushi for whatever reason, but
damn.
Yeah, it's all right. You know how things are, but when things kind of like roll through. But yeah, so why don't you tell everybody who doesn't know you a little bit about you? Like, where are you from? Like, tell us a little bit about your streaming roots and what made you want to go into content.
Yeah, so I'm Cheer. I'm a 32-year-old cheerleader. I play video games for a living. My pronouns are she, her. I'm born and raised in New Jersey, but I lived in New York City for the last, like, I think almost 9 years. Yeah, I am a bitchy New Jersey Leo, half Sicilian, half Irish, so that explains my temper on this video game. Yeah, and I got into streaming because like most people, the pandemic, I had actually never really played video games seriously. Back in like 2006, I would like play Halo at my boyfriend's house at the time. But surprisingly, this will absolutely come as a shock. My favorite part was just putting on the headset and yelling at people while other people played. So like that was really the only time I played like a shooter. But during the pandemic, I was locked in the house with my ex who was playing Warzone all the time, and I was like, can I curse? Is cursing?
Yeah,
okay
you can
okay.
curse. It's
I was like,
okay.
can you shut the fuck up? Like, you're being so loud. stop playing this stupid game. But since we were locked in the house because it was like during quarantine, our TikTok like For You pages combined, and so then I started getting like women playing Call of Duty, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. Like that looks fun. I want to yell at people, and so I just started playing because I kind of thought it'd be funny and like a way to kill time. Now it's my full-time job, so it worked out.
I've always loved playing COD. Like I've been playing COD ever since I was a little kid, back in like the like original Modern Warfare 2, like and everything from that, like kind of working my way up. But no, and also funny enough, you mentioned New York. I go to New York quite often. Like my brother lives out over in Brooklyn, so I'm constantly
nice.
in the tri-state area over there. But no, so it is Pride Month, and I know you're a big advocate. So I do want to say, like, I'm also a massive not just ally. I'm part of the community as well. And like, I'm not going to go into more detail than that. And like, Pride Month is a big deal. It's about love, and people forget that. It's about love and respecting people for who they are. So how do you integrate being an ally or part of the community into your content?
I am a loud queer woman, and I don't let the men on this game forget that. So that's the main thing, is I just have a loud mouth. But also I feel like my content kind of helps people, one, like learn how to clap back at these losers, because like I say all the time, like they're like, oh, like I can't think of what to say, you're so quick with it, and I'm like, steal my lines, like use what I say, because hot girls don't gatekeep. Like use what I say, because we have the same goal, is to like shut down these weirdos. And also just like me, I get so many messages of people saying that like I help them get the confidence to like start gaming again, because like the misogyny or the homophobia or the racism like pushed them
real.
away. Like
It is so real in COD.
so long ago. And like I get messages almost every day now being like, you inspired me, like you're healing my inner child, like you're doing what I always wanted to do, or like you're inspiring me to do that. So I think that's like the biggest way, just being I mean, my shirt says mean lesbian on it. You can't get more to the point than that.
It's so great, and like you hit it on the head there, because like people are ridiculous, especially in COD. And it's not just COD. Like every video game is like full of misogyny, racism, bigotry, and hate for whatever reason. I don't know if it was I mean, a lot of my friends are like, oh well, it's because of Trump, but I'm like, no, this is way before that. This is because people were just hateful for some reason, and like we got to stop the hate. We got to start spreading the love. And like, that's my message as a creator, is to try to spread positivity any way I can. So
yeah, it's like they hide behind the anonymity. I can say words, I promise. They hide behind being anonymous. And I always joke that like it's their safe space to say slurs. Like that's what they want. They're like, oh well, it's Call of Duty, like that's where it happens. I'm like, so it's your safe space. It's your safe space to be a bigot. But like, joke's on you, I'm not gonna allow that.
And I try to stand up for people however I can. And like one of the really interesting things that I've done this month, and I wish I would have been able to make more content, but I think I'm going to spread it into my birthday month in July, is like I changed my clan tag to Pride, right? And like I'm normally, it's always PERC. It's like PERC percussive, right? So I start playing Search and Destroyed. I have never gotten so much hate just because my clan tag said Pride. Them using ridiculous slurs, them using ridiculous anonyms and stuff like that, and like just constant like racism, sexism, bigotry, them assuming my race, assuming my gender, assuming what I am, assuming who I am. And like one of the things that I wish for, especially in the gaming community, is for us to be more accepting of everybody. And this is not just in the gaming community, it's the world. That's my mentality. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so so how do you identify on the spectrum? Is it lesbian? Is it pan? Is it bi?
I usually say queer. My community's like, you're a lesbian. I don't like any men except for Hassan Piker, so
valid, but
yeah. But yeah, I primarily like women.
That is valid. I'm not flirting, I'm just asking. But so anyways, so who has been your most significant influence or role model within the LGBT community as a streamer?
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh,
Mhm.
that's hard.
I
I
know,
don't
right?
know. Shit, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably I think I'm the most loudmouth queer like first person shooter gamer out there, so I don't know. I'm just I don't think there's a specific person. I just have my autistic sense of justice where I can't shut the fuck up about what I think is right. So, I don't know how to be any other way. Like I've been like this before gaming. I I have the lawsuits to prove it. I've just always been loud and like sticking up for what's right and like sticking up for like the underdog, and I always want to learn more and become a, like obviously I can speak up for the queer community, but I also want to be an ally to black people and people of color, and like I just want to be the best ally that I can. So I'm just always learning, and is it bad to say me? Because I'm the only one I think that's doing all this as a
Hon-
queer woman.
Honestly, like I do see you on the forefront of this a lot, and you're definitely one of my like favorite content creators on the spectrum. And like just to be able to like do what you do, watch your streams. Like I know like occasionally you'll see me type in chat, but most of the time it's me like just lurking and watching because I'm doing other things in the background. And your stuff is great. Like your content is amazing, and like I agree with you. It's not just about like the support of the LGBTQ. It's the support of everybody for who they are. I'm an ally of the LGBTQ. I'm also part of the LGBTQ. I'm an ally of women and an ally of everyone, of African Americans. Like the stuff that's going on in Islam right now. Like I mean, I don't want to go too much in depth. I know you have strong words about that area too, but like. That's sad. I really wish that we have more mentality over there and like stop the genocide. And it just needs we are better than this as like a world community.
Yeah.
We need to be. But so, what is your favorite game?
Call of Duty, unfortunately.
I would honestly have to say the same, but as of recent and as of like the recent nerfs and stuff like that and emergence of the Kar 98 being the only viable gun now, I've kind of went over to Minecraft. But no, I've been a huge COD fan as well.
Yeah, I've never played Minecraft, but also as someone who snipes a lot, I love that the car is. I mean, I hate getting hit by the car, but I love when I get hit with the car.
See, like I'm one of those gamers that when I play COD, I try to make the game purposely more difficult for myself. Like I was the type of person who would never use the car in Modern Warfare 1 because it was so easy, and I would just use the AX50, or I would use like I don't use the car now. I'll use the Stalker or the or even the Cat AMR just to try to have the slowest possible ADS to make the game a little bit more difficult. But skill-based hit reg needs to go. That's all I'll say. Warzone's impossible to play now. But so what made you want to go into COD in general? Is it just because of how people are and you just want to make a difference, or is it because you just thoroughly enjoy the game and now you're just trying to make a difference on top of that?
I really just enjoyed the game. Like, also just like I said, like I never really played video games before I started getting in the COD. Like, we were all locked in the house, so I was playing Animal Crossing because that had just came out. But that was really it. Like, if I like started dating someone and I knew they were into video games, I was like, this isn't gonna work out. Like, I think they're stupid. They're a waste of time. So like, I don't like video games. I like Call of Duty. So every time someone's like, you should try this game, you should try that game, I don't like it because I only like Call of Duty. My brain is broken.
I'm like I started with like fighting games and then I went into COD. So like I've been Smash was my first game, like Super Smash Brothers 64, and I could probably still beat anyone in Smash, but COD is just one of those games that like I can play every single day. So I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. What thoughts do you have for new creators who are in the LGBTQ community who are kind of nervous to take the plunge into content?
I say just do it. Like, we need more voices. We need more people being like loud about who they are and like not backing down. But also just like my go-to advice for new creators is like be yourself. Like, when I started streaming, I saw that a lot of people were like, no politics, like no talking about this. And I thought that's like what you had to do. But like I said, I'm a loudmouth bitch who cannot keep her thoughts to herself. So it was like 3 months in and I was like, I can't take, I think like January 6th happened. And I was like, I can't shut the fuck up. Like we're talking about this. I'm raising money for mutual aid down in DC. Like this is insane. And so like, don't try and shove yourself into a box because like I've like blown up the way that I have because I speak my opinions and I act like myself. So like that's a big one. And then also like stay firm with your boundaries, especially when you're a smaller creator. People try to be like, oh, well, like, you know, I gifted you 10 subs, so I get to play with you now. And just like, if someone gives you
I
weird
hate
vibes,
that.
yeah, or you like don't like I'd be like, oh, this person always plays with me, but like they give me weird vibes. I don't like playing with them, but they're like a recurring viewer. I have to keep them. Like, nope. Like viewers are abundant. People will find you. You need to curate the community that you are going to be proud of. Like, I'm so happy that I have my boundaries like I do now because I am so proud of the community that I have. Like, if I was like, oh, no politics, I wouldn't have been able to raise like thousands of dollars for someone out in Gaza like I have been. Like, I wouldn't have the type of community that would be wanting to do that. I would just have people who also wouldn't say anything. So be who you actually are because you'll be proud of it in the end.
That's very well said. And like, honestly, I couldn't agree more because we definitely need more loudspoken LGBTQ creators in the content space. I'm not loudspoken, but I'm not loudspoken for my own personal reasons, but I am very much a supporter. My pronouns are he, him, they, them. And there's a reason for that. But it's more or less like I agree with you 100%. We need more outspoken people out there who want to support people. We need less people in the content space like Nick Merckx. And we are going to have to bring this up because of the stuff that he's been doing that's been very anti-trans and anti-LGBTQ. And it's sad that some of the big name creators are actually making that plunge, not just doubling down, but tripling down over the time span of years. And like the hate isn't just from some random Call of Duty player that's hiding behind a mic. It's people who actually have a big platform too. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I was blocked last year when he did the whole like, oh, protect the kids, and we were all like, this is a like anti-trans dog whistle, like this is shut the fuck up. And it was like, no, like I just mean, and it's like, listen to people who know the dog whistles. Like I recognize that he was a piece of shit fucking years ago when he was like, oh, we're in the middle of COVID and I'm moving to Florida. Like, why else would someone move to Florida in the middle of COVID? Like you're like an anti-vaxxer Republican. Like what the fuck? And yeah, just like, you need to listen to people when they say like, this is a bad person who is spreading hate and it's only going to get worse. Because how many people, especially like young kids, has he like influenced these last couple years as like just like the small little bits of like right-wing conservatism. I can talk today, I promise. Just like how many little things did he drop to like sway people that way who are now probably like watching him and Andrew Tate? Like
it's that, and like the mentality that he's like brought forward. It's just so much hate and like so much disdain towards the community of people, and like we're all just humans, and like it doesn't matter whether you're gay, straight, trans, but it also does matter. I mean, but it doesn't matter. Like we're all humans. We should all be treated as such. And in that retrospect, in that mindset, and like the fact that he's like doubling down and saying it's a mindset. I mean, it's anybody who's part of the community knows it's not a mindset. You're born this way. I can't help who I'm attracted to. I just am attracted to them. I can't help that if I feel a certain way in my own skin, I am this way. It's just who I am. Like Lady Gaga said it best. Like we're born this way.
Yeah. It's just gross that someone can. It's just also bothering me that Twitch hasn't like actioned on it, and they're like, oh, we're having the Pride Guild, and it's like cool, but one of your top streamers is like spreading hate speech about part of our community. So what the fuck?
That, and like he's not just on Twitch. Like I know like we actually had a little bit of a discussion on this earlier. Like as a newer creator, we have multiple platforms. We have multiple
Mm-hmm.
ways to be able to put your voice out there. We have Facebook, we have Kick, we have Twitch, we have YouTube, we have all these platforms available. So if you're a newer creator trying to make your start, where are we starting?
I feel like start where you align with the most. Like I was posting on TikTok before I ever streamed on Twitch. So I would like post there. I'm really bad at YouTube, so I just started posting there because one of my viewers was like, I'm gonna be your fucking editor. You're gonna make videos, post on YouTube. So now I have an editor, so I'm posting videos. But like I feel like stream where you feel you align and like what a like the community that you agree with. And also like, oh, I had another train of thought that I totally lost. Oh, like focus on one at a time, I would say, because if you spread yourself too thin, then like you're not gonna make a gain anywhere. Like I've had a bunch of people, yeah, I've had a bunch of people reach out to me lately being like, oh, like I've seen you fundraising for this, can you fundraise for that, can you fundraise for that? And I'm like, I have to focus on one at a time, because if I do 1,000 things at once, no one's gonna see any growth. And it's the same with like anything. Like if you are streaming here and there, you can't focus all on one. People can't find you all on one. It's better to just funnel everyone to one. So like I post on TikTok and then I'm like, yes, now I'm live on Twitch. Like go there. That's the main place I want you.
My biggest advice for any newer creator is post content first before you decide to stream. And here's why. If you try to stream and post content at the same time, you're going to end up missing a bunch of things that come to your content, and people will find you and you see your personality through those 15-second to 8-minute long videos that you do. And you want to try to define your style of who you are, of what your content wants to be. And not only that, like once you start making good content and it starts getting pushed, and that's a mistake that I've made, then people are going to start actually seeing you for you, and then they're going to be like, oh my god, is this person stream? I want to come into the stream. I want to see this person stream. And like is actually in Cheer how I found you, not only because you were playing with like Marie and Steffi around the time that I found you, but I saw your content. And I saw when you see somebody's content and you like their content, you want to follow them. You want to see how they are in stream. You want to see how the content is created. And people forget that that's kind of one of the core values when it comes to being a viewer.
Yeah.
It's the unspoken stuff.
Yeah, a lot of background stuff that you gotta do.
Streaming is only 25, or not even 25. I'd say 10% of our standard day.
Yeah.
And
sure.
like when you have a full-time job, you're like your own video editor, your own audio engineer, your own producer, like everything is in line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot more than just hitting go live.
It really is.
But the start is hitting go live. So anytime
Yes.
someone's like, I want to start streaming, how should I start? I'm like, just do it. Just go live. Just hit the button, get it out of the way.
I definitely agree with that. Like when you hit the button, like you're gonna miss chat. And like even today, like I have a message up here saying like, I see you guys. I'm paying attention to chat. You guys are literally right over here in my peripheral. I see the chat moving. I'm not dumb. But you're gonna miss chat. You're not gonna pay attention. You're gonna miss your alerts. Your alerts are not gonna work, and you're not gonna know why.
Yeah.
Tech happens in streaming.
Oh yeah, I have so many internet issues, and I'm just like, there's nothing I can do. Just gotta deal with it.
Exactly. Power through, push through. So
Yeah.
what advice do you have for newer creators from the tech round? Because there's so much tech out there.
You don't need the nicest and the fanciest stuff. I started on a PlayStation 4 with a PlayStation camera. There's another COD streamer, Brittany. She got partnered while streaming off a PlayStation. Like, as long as you have a great personality and like good content, people are gonna tune in. Like, I mean, back to Nick Merckx. He has a shitty camera, and you only see his eyebrows up. Like, and he's like one of the biggest streamers. Like, you do not need fancy stuff. You don't have to be the best. Like, build it as you go. Don't just be like, oh, I need everything at once. Like, I need a PC, and I need the best camera, and I need a Stream Deck, and I need a Go XLR. Like, relax. Start from the bottom and build your way up.
It'll come when it's right to come. But like for me, I started on a 2060 laptop. Like the GPU was the 2060. It had 16 gigabytes of RAM. It was a AMD Ryzen 5. Like it was like barely able to run Modern Warfare. Like I could barely run COD. And not only that, like I would stream at 720p because I couldn't do anything until I was able to kind of say, you know what, I kind of want to make streaming a thing. I want a $10,000 setup. I want the gigabyte monitor. I want the 4090, like the big stuff, and like kind of put things and put pieces together. But that's also because I'm a tech weirdo and I like the powerful stuff, so I can do multiple things at the same time and record at a high bit rate. But
yeah, I don't know anything about that stuff, so I'm always just like, what do I need now? How do I fix?
You know, that laptop I still use as my recording PC. Like that's my streaming PC. That's what things are being streamed off of. But combining the power, splitting the power, you know what?
Yeah, for sure.
So, what challenges do you face, not only as a female, but as an LGBTQ content creator? And how do you overcome them? And how do you be so positive in the process?
Well, I guess they're challenges. I don't know. I get a lot of hate, but like rarely does it really bother me because I'm just like, you are a loser. Like you don't have friends to hang out with, so you're messaging me. Like, okay. And I stay calm. My therapist says I thrive under chaos. So I think that's the main thing. I also have weekly therapy appointments and a Zoloft prescription, but I also just really love arguing and I love shutting men down. So all of that combined is how I stay positive.
And people get angrier as they do it. One of my favorite things when I run into Search and Destroy and I play Search is I just say it's adorable. And that word, they get so mad, and it is the funniest thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so adorable. And they just get
I
so
love to
mad.
like gentle parent them. I'm like, oh, really? Is that how you feel? And they're like, ah! Like they hate getting gentle parented.
They definitely hate it. Like it, honestly, they just hate it when I talk, and I don't understand why. Like, I mean, look at me, I'm gorgeous. No, I'm kidding, but it's just funny, like how mad people get and how fragile their egos are. And like we talked about this in the Women's History Month podcast. Like the fragile male egos are real, and the fragile female egos as well are extremely real. For whatever reason, in COD is like a shitstorm for that.
Yeah, the pick-me's are the worst.
They're there. So
thankfully, I don't run into them that often, but they exist. I
run into them a lot, and like they keep, even though like I'll drop like 13 to 15 in a search game, or I'll drop like 8 to 20 kills in Warzone, like they'll turn around and say like, what the hell? Like, what the hell are you doing? You're like, you're an absolute shitter. Like, screw you. Like, or whatever they say. Like, pick me. So how do you manage negative feedback? Because we all know that I was playing with Summer Slays the other day. We even had people just come into her chat after a search game and just berate our entire group the rest of the day.
I mean, anytime they're mean to me, I just use them for content so they pay my bills. So
I feel like
any better than that.
That's like the best slap in the face in the world. It's like, oh, thank you for paying my bills.
Yeah.
Thank you for being an absolute shitter.
Yeah.
So how do you spread positivity and awareness? What is your move there?
I think by just like being unapologetically myself and like speaking up against this, because so many people have been afraid to, and just like showing that it's possible to speak against it and stand up and not like go with the status quo of just like, oh, it's just a Call of Duty lobby, like you just have to handle it in mute.
Exactly. And like the COD lobbies themselves, like, I just went straight ADHD. I had a train of thought and it just went out the window. But it's just crazy because like the way people interact within COD just defines such a weird generation, and like the negative stuff that they push forward, it's like, you know, they're just like this. I feel so bad for them because there's something that's going on in their lives. There's something that's wrong. They 100% need therapy, and they're too proud to get therapy, or they're too bigoted to get therapy. Like they're ignorant within their own selves, and it's just kind of sad. But so one of the big topics as a creator, and something that we do constantly, is analyze. We analyze our own analytics. We pay attention to statistics. What's the right statistic?
I don't know. I don't look at my analytics.
That's
I
okay.
really don't. I look at my numbers after stream and that's it. But like, I think the only analytic that I look at because I think it's funny, back when I was signed to NYXL, they pointed out that they had never seen someone in the gaming sphere who had such little male followers. Like I only have like 30 to 40% of male followers on all of my platforms.
I didn't know I was a minority.
They're like, we've never seen someone with like so many women and so little men. So like that's I'm always like, get it smaller. Get it as small as possible.
Well, I mean, like the content that you make is definitely, I don't want to say it's like, it's not geared to women, but it definitely empowers women. And that's very, very important.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I know if I look at numbers, I'll obsess over them. So I just don't. Like there was a bit where like my numbers were low, like my viewership, and my therapist literally was like, turn off your viewer count. And I was like, I've tried, I can't, it stresses me out even more. She goes, you can look once an hour. Every hour I would go and look.
That was the best advice someone has ever given me, is to turn off your viewer count and don't even look at it, because it doesn't matter. Like you could, we as streamers are professional yappers. We'll yap about anything and everything. We'll yap about the fact that our key button just got stuck and it's not coming off the space and it's making my Word document turn into a 1,000-page document. But like, we're professional yappers. We'll yap about anything, and like, it's what we do. It's who we are. And like, eventually us yapping to a screen is going to turn into a conversation with somebody in chat, which is eventually going to turn into your best friend or potential best friend. Not actually, but parasocial relationships. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I'd say in regards to the analytics though, when it comes to content, the thing that you want to pay attention to is your attention rate. When do people leave? Why do they leave? Look back at your content and figure out, oh, I said this, they thought it was over. And learn from that and how you can make people stick around your content even longer. Mm-hmm. That's what I'd say is your best friend stat.
Absolutely. I did a residency with BuzzFeed, and they were very big on like your intro to like really capture people. So like doing a nice clickbaity intro always gets them.
My intros, and one of my friends, Shady, the only Shady, he told me that the intro is the most important part of his content. He'll record his intro for about an hour and a half until he knows for a fact that it is right before he moves forward with the rest of the 5-minute video.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. It's crucial. It's especially like, people don't really pay attention to us unless we have a big intro, unless we have that hook. So we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about Kick versus Twitch, the topic that's been on a lot of people's minds, a topic that's been all over Twitter. So for those of you guys that do not know, one of the items that's been going on is one of the employees of Kick, former employees of Kick, put out a YouTube video describing her experience at Kick. And it's turned into a very emotional state of affairs for a lot of people. And some people even believe that the Kick versus Twitch portion extends when Kick was actually created. So what are your thoughts on this whole situation that's going on?
Yeah, I mean, as I always say, like, I'm very loudly anti-Kick. So Kick was created to be like the anti-Twitch with like no TOS and like, oh, we'll sign off anyone who was banned off of Twitch. And so like it was, whether intended or not, made to be a breeding ground for just like bad people. And after this, the employee came out with like, they're saying the N-word and the R-word and the F-slur and trying to profit off of what's her face, Kaide, is that her name? Her cancer, and like all that. It's just like, I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I saw that from a mile away. Like, this was obviously the type of people running this platform because they wanted no TOS, no rules, all gambling, like just icky.
I will say that as somebody's main platform with Kick, and like, I'm not gonna say that Kick is better than Twitch in any facet. There's a reason why I'm not streaming on Kick, and I'm not streaming on Kick today. And like Kick has some type of perks, and like the biggest perk I would say is its discoverability. And it's because it's such a newer platform, so they're going to be pushing people who haven't necessarily or inherently been seen yet. And it's smaller, so it's easier to be discovered, and it's more difficult to be discovered on Twitch, and it's really difficult to be discovered on YouTube. And with the strange things that TikTok has done, even with their deliverability and their platform, with the 200 view cap, or that some people in the analytics portion, they call that being shadow banned. It's really difficult to grow, and like they're putting caps on certain things. They're only letting certain creators through, and it's starting to get really interesting. So how does one even get discovered anymore?
Just keep posting. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Try to post everywhere. Like I, for a while, like was not breaking like 4,000 followers on Instagram, and then I did that residency with BuzzFeed, and I started posting like 2 reels like a week basically, and now I do kind of one reel a week. And in the last like 6 months, I went from like 4,000 followers to 62,000. So like you just gotta wait for something to hit, because for a while I was like, there's no use posting on Instagram. Like you don't find, like, no one watches Instagram reels. They're like a year behind the TikTok trends. But they do. And because I've realized now that I have Instagram reels that are doing well, they have such a longer shelf life than TikTok. Like TikTok, a trend is over in a week. Instagram, like people keep coming back, and I'm like, I get it now. Like this is why my grandma sees memes like a year later.
I've had consistent 10K reels on Instagram, and it's because they keep them around for so long, and they push them to Facebook and push them back.
Yeah, so yeah, posting on Facebook as well. I have yet to have something pop off on Facebook, and every time I do, it's like
the comments,
just a bunch of dads saying I'm hacking, and I'm like, I had 6 kills in search. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, just keep posting, and like think, like going back to like what I said before, like think of where your values align and like where you want to grow, and if you want to be associated with certain platforms and certain creators and all that.
I can definitely agree with that, because like you have to understand your own values and stick to your own ethics before you like choose a platform. I haven't chosen Kick. It's just been my main platform because that's where people have seen me. I mean, I'm a consistent for CCV viewer or streamer, and I'm not upset with that, because I'm different than most streamers, because this isn't my main line of income. I stream to spread positivity, and if I could make one person smile a day, then my job is done. But in regards to the Kick versus Twitch stuff, my opinion is this: you got to pay attention to your morals and ethics, and if you're willing to forgo your morals to allow yourself to gain views, then have at it, do you. But if you want to stick to something where they're accepting of all people, allow yourself to get out there, stick to your morals and ethics, and keep at it and keep grinding, and you'll eventually get seen. And Cheer's right. Just keep posting, keep doing what you're doing, and eventually you'll get views. One of the terms that I keep hearing you say over and over, and I know a lot of new creators probably won't understand it, is the term residency. I understand it because my brother's a musician and I know what a residency is. But what is a residency for all these newer viewers?
Yeah,
newer creators?
So BuzzFeed like had me and I think like 30 other creators like basically work for them but do our own stuff, but it was like under their name and they paid us. It was fucking sick. But it was basically, they were basically using us to see how videos do on different platforms. So it was like we posted like 2 or 3 videos a week. I can't remember. It was a couple months ago. But so like 2 original videos and then 1 repost that we had like already posted on a different platform. And they like had the access to analytics from our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok were the 3 that they were watching. They wanted us to grow on Instagram and Facebook and compare it to our TikTok. And they just kind of basically used us for how things work. And there was 3 stages. I only made it through the first 2. the last stage went down to like 5 creators, and my Facebook didn't grow very much. But it was just a cool way to partner with like a bigger name and get your content out. Also getting paid and learning more about analytics. They had like classes every week, and I still get invited to like seminars that they have, and it was pretty cool.
Residencies are very interesting because if you have an opportunity to get involved in any type of residency, essentially what a residency is it's your home for the time being. You're supporting this brand for the time being because you agree with what the brand is putting out there. And it's a mutual agreement that sometimes results in pay, other times results in like something mutually beneficial between the two parties. And you can also think about it like that when you start going into sponsorships. And sponsorships and affiliations are something that a lot of new streamers don't know about. So what are your thoughts in regards to sponsorships? Like, do you have any ideas on people who might be looking or people who might be doing things? Like, what should they do?
Reach out to companies. Like, it never hurts to shoot your shot and see if they like want to partner. I did that to get this chair. I reached out to Secret Lab and I was like, hey, like, you want to partner? Like, here's all my numbers. And they sent me a free chair, and all I had to do is go live and unbox it and build it. Which then everyone's like, you play Overwatch? And I'm like, nope, I'm a fake. This is just the only pink chair they had. But yeah, shoot your shot. See, I mean, there's a lot of like partner managers on Twitter. Like, if you like become mutuals with them, they might like my partner manager at one of places I have like a code moved to a different one and was like, hey, like, do you want to like rep this company as well? And I was like, because I like you, yes. Like, so like making those personal connections really helps. And yeah, just put yourself out there.
Networking is the key word there. Networking is so important. It's one of the reasons why I actually highly recommend going to conventions when you have an opportunity to. Post your content, stream and make your brand and define your brand and define who you are. Then get yourself a nice media kit or a nice business card and go to some conventions and start talking to people. And not only that, post on Twitter and market yourself. Like that's a huge way to be able to get affiliations and sponsorships, and help yourself grow. So that being said, do you think it's more challenging as an LGBTQ plus creator to get affiliations and sponsorships?
So far, I haven't had an issue, but also that partner manager I just mentioned, she's also queer, so that's why she was like, hey, like, wanna like follow me here? And so I did. But I mean, so far as I know, I haven't had any issues. Who knows if people saw me at some point. I do know that there was a opportunity where they were like, you're a little too vulgar for us, so like the content you post we don't want to highlight. So I was like, all right, I get that, whatever. And actually it was for Optimum, which is who I have my internet from, so fuck you, Optimum. You suck in so many ways. I even went back and deleted all my tweets like yelling at them about my shitty internet, and now I'm like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna keep tweeting about it because you didn't pay me.
Well, they didn't pay you, they deserve it.
Yeah. I forget where I was going with that. I completely ADHD'd. Oh, I don't think I've lost any opportunities from being queer. But also, you mentioned Twitter. That's how I got like partnered with Call of Duty. Is one of their partner managers tweeted like, or some women in the scene that you would like to see, or like some creators you'd like to see. And someone who I can't even remember who it was tagged me. And now like I get invited, or I've been invited to COD events in the past. I test the games like as they like come out, and I get like free COD points and all this cool shit behind me. So
it's a dream of mine to eventually get invited to a COD next. So I mean, maybe it happens in the next 15 years. Who knows?
I hope to get invited to another.
COD next is one of the coolest things ever, and like one of the things that a lot of people don't talk about is like going into content. It's just, and I know some people who are just like, oh my god, these streamers are making so much money, I'm gonna stream. My recommendation is actually start as a viewer.
Yeah.
And we definitely wear masks that sometimes you may or may not see. We may not be making as much money as you think we're making, but start as a viewer. Get to know the process of how it is as a creator, and like
Yeah.
reach out to creators offline. I wouldn't even be sitting here with Cheer if I didn't reach out to her about the podcast itself. So shoot your shot, start as a viewer, make your content, and push your way forward in the streaming world. It's fun.
That was how I pretty much started. Is I was a viewer and I would play with a streamer during viewer days, and then they were like, "Oh, I like playing with you. Let's keep playing." And their viewers were like, "Does she stream? Like, she's funny." And then I got bullied into streaming because the streamer was like, "Yeah, actually, she's about to start streaming," and I was like, "I am," and then I did.
My friends were like, "You're hilarious and you should stream," because like I will say the most off the wall, funny, goofy ass shit whenever I'm in COD. And I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna go into Vondel." And I'll pull out my peanuts that I have sitting next to me, and I'll be like, "We're gonna Vondel these nuts," and then just drop in, do our thing, and just have fun. But like, it's just funny. It's just really funny things that it's. I enjoy streaming the content world. You get haters, you get people who suck, but you know what? A lot of the times you get some really cool people and meet some really cool people in the process.
Yeah.
So, what do you hope to see in the streaming space in regards to LGBTQ creators?
I'd like to see more of us be bigger, you know, up there with like the XQC and Pokimane and Hassan and all them. Like, one of us up there would be fucking sick because some of them need to shut the fuck up. Yeah, so like more representation, more big names for queer creators, and more bigots shutting the fuck up.
I agree with that. The bigots definitely need to stop. It's like, but get some people, get some representation up there. Some people who are openly, they're open about being trans, open about the LGBTQ in like active during Pride Month is the words I were trying to make, but allow people to actually be who they are. And that's the biggest thing I want to see. I want to see that out of Twitch. I want to see that out of any given platform. Be who you are. Just be you. And like, let us be us.
Exactly.
It's enough of this like divide. It's 2024. Why can't we all be fucking friends?
Yeah.
So if you could collab with any person or any celebrity or any influencer, who would it be?
Hassan.
Hassan?
Yeah.
I honestly, and I'd have to think about that because as of right now, I have a list of like 1 million people. I'd probably say it's Dr. Chubbs because Dr. Chubbs and my mentality and personality kind of align really well. It would be Dr. Chubbs or Lucci.
Nice.
So, but they're really, really cool creators and COD creators as well. I suck at most other games.
Same.
So, do you have any questions for me?
Oh, I didn't think of any. I didn't think of any ahead of time. So
you don't have to. You don't have to. I always try to throw that out there and to catch people off guard, but
you succeeded.
So I have another question. What's something that you do in the day of the life of a streamer to unwind after the stream or to set yourself up or psych yourself up before a stream?
Before a stream, I don't do anything. I'm usually feeding my cats and just editing a TikTok. After stream, I lay on my couch and I go nonverbal and I just scroll on my phone. That's it.
For me, I spend an hour and a half checking presets and stuff that I should have for stream. Post stream, I always try to be, I kind of have my laptop sitting next to me. So I'm either in somebody's stream and like kind of paying attention to what they're doing. And then I have my phone next to me scrolling through TikTok and trying to do two things at once.
Nice.
Well, I think that's really awesome. I do appreciate you coming on out. I would open it up to anybody who has any questions in the audience here. I don't know how many people are in the audience, and I am going to pull up my Twitter feed here too, just in case. But if you guys have any questions for us, feel free to throw them in chat. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be able to come on to the podcast tonight. Do you have any final thoughts in regards to content creation, Pride Month, LGBTQ, and like how we should pretty much be as creators?
I don't know. Just stick to your guns. If you're gonna stick up for minorities, make sure you're sticking up for all of them. Don't pick and choose. Don't only stick up for who looks like you.
Yes.
And yeah, just fucking don't exclude anyone from your activism.
I 100% agree with that. And like I said, big advocate of peace, love, and positivity and spreading positivity. And it doesn't just mean for one individual group of people. It doesn't just mean for one style of people. Respect everybody because we're all human beings and it's who we should be and who we want to be treated. And that's pretty much what the PERC Spreads Positivity podcast is supposed to be about. And but thank you again, Cheer. Much love. I appreciate you coming on out to the podcast. And
no worries. Thank you for having me.
no, we should run COD soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Well, have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the PSP podcast episode 7. We're going to go ahead and raid on out into somebody here. We're going to have some fun and spread the love any way that we know how. So give me 1 second. I think I actually put the wrong screen on here. Let me get everything situated. And we're going to go ahead and raid on out of here. Let's see what we have live, actually. Let's see who is live. All right, chat. I'm going to take an hour. I'm going to come back at probably 8 or 9 o'clock, and we're going to play some COD. But I will see you all soon.